question for you. What is the right way of saying you in Spanish? Tú, vos, usted. The answer is actually super simple. It all depends on who you are, where you're from, what region of the country you're from, who the other person is, where they're from, how old they are, how close you are to them, and how much you respect them.
Spanish is so complicated.
Okay, yeah, alright, well, explain thorough to me.
What about it?
Are you kidding me? That's how you spell thorough?
Okay, we both have complications.
Thoroughly. Che, ¿vos qué querés tomar? No sé, escoge tú. ¿Y qué le pedimos a usted? Ya llega mi hermano. Pues pidamos lo que vosotros digan. What I'm saying is, figuring out the right you isn't like simple math. This is algebra. And we gotta solve for y. And in this case, y equals... Why are there so many u's?
You know, in English, we just say you, which is simple.
Okay, Chris, riddle me this. When is it F and when is it PH? Phone. Elephant. Let's begin with vos, a U that as a Venezuelan from Caracas, I rarely heard. I thought it was like a you your fancy cousins would say to show off that they spoke a more cultured Spanish. Not the case. Turns out, it's just a casual replacement for tú that Spaniards, the Spanish OGs, don't even use. So there's this theory that countries or regions that use the word vos over tú are places that were more isolated from Spain during colonial times. As in, they weren't talking to Spain regularly, so the word for you just evolved. But usually these countries still use the word tú in some regions or circumstances, except of course Argentina. I have never heard an Argentinian say tú in my life. I have this completely fictionalized scene in my head where years ago Argentinians just had a forum and they were like, all right, so people are using tú, but we're from Argentina. We cannot use the word tú, we're different. So we shall take vosotros and chop it up and use the first three letters and use vos because it sounds fancier, it sounds more legitimate. Vos, yo soy de Argentina, yo voy a usar vos solamente. Tú, eso es para el resto de Latinoamérica. But, okay, bueno, Brasil usa vosé. Brasil usa...
We're gonna bring it down a little bit. We're just talking about the word you.
We're passionate people. Next up, tú. Just the regular old you that I guess isn't as regular as I thought. So the other day, my Colombian friend was like, hey, ¿podemos tutearnos? As in, hey, can we to each other? Okay there, slow your roll, buddy. I'm a married woman, all right? Not for me, but thank you. But what he was actually asking was if we could refer to each other in the tú form instead of the vos or usted. So, not what I thought he meant. He was giving off a weird vibe, and I had just blow-dried my hair, so it looked good. You know what I mean?
You still got it. Don't worry.
I still got it! Oh, hey, girl! So, unlike Argentina, there are countries that use tú and vos, and they're like unspoken rules of when you use each one of them. Rules that, as an outsider, you wish were, spoken. 'Cause, what? For example, in a lot of places within Colombia, tú isn't something that you just use with everyone. Tú is intimate, you know? Oh. Actually, a little weird because they do use it with family members. But you also use it with your wife. So. And your aunt. And your uncle. Like my husband from Cali, Colombia, he uses tú for me and for his family, but for his guy friends, it's vos, and that's it. And when I ask him about it, he's like, no, tú is too intimate for Alejandro. Alejandro is my best friend. You know, I've known him my whole life. He's my closest amigo, but yeah, no, tú is too much. Tú is too intimate. Vos is fine. And then conversely, for some of these vos countries, using vos with someone that you're really close to is like a slap in the face. It's no, we're not that close, just kidding. It's you can't call your mom vos. You can't call the woman that bore you verse. You have to tutearla. You have to tutear your mother. Next is usted. For me, it was always either tú or usted. That's it, simple. Tú was for pretty much everyone, and usted was for example, a grandmother of a friend, or someone I held of high esteem at an office, or someone that's a bit older than me that I don't know very well, or someone that's old, but you don't really know how old, so you use usted just to gauge if they like the level of respect or not. But sometimes they're do I look that old to you? No, do tú to me. I'm not usted. And then you revert back and you hope that you didn't offend them.
Spanish is so simple.
That's how you spell thorough. But in other places, usted isn't just a word you use for people you highly respect or don't know very well. In places like Colombia, oh, hey, look, Colombia's back. Maybe it's because Colombia is the most confusing one of all of us! So while most countries use usted with people they don't know very well but respect highly, Colombians use usted with their siblings, the people they know the most and respect the least. Sorry, brother and sister. In other countries, some couples call each other usted as a form of respect. Now, if my husband called me usted, I think I'd be like, I'm sorry. Do you have amnesia? Do I look like Alejandro's grandmother? Because I'm not an usted. You better tutearme. You better tutearme!
Okay, so like, what's the takeaway, Joanna?
I guess I wish this was a little simpler.
So, in your world, you are wishing that there would be an authority on behalf of the Spanish language that would just tell you which version of you everyone should be using.
Or like just a pamphlet. Why don't we make it an app? You put country, how close you are to someone, and like your age. And then it just tells you what to say.
Yo, we would make some money. That's a
Yeah.
99 cent app.
Honestly, that might be like a $3.99.
Whoa, is it that big a deal?
No. But tell me, what are some other situations where the you is super important? Tell me.
You?
Use the Spanish words you just learned.
Two.
We just spent an hour doing this, Chris.
No, that was
You retain one more.
The one that you said all sad stuff.
Okay, you know what? Tell me in the comments below. Until next time, I'm Joanna. Send my piece. Chris needs to learn Spanish. This is ridiculous.